Once again, we back with another one. Shout out to the homie Maverick, man, coming through with that heat. I know I've been meaning to get back with this one, man. I had to check in with I had to tap in with my fellow neighbor and see how he was doing, man. I was like, man, the streets dry out here. Where you at, Maverick? Hey, I asked and Maverick supplied, bro. Come on, dog. Shout out to the homie Maverick, man. Make sure y'all go subscribe to his channel, man. Run them likes up, the views up, the comments up, the subscribers up, and all that on his channel. You already know they show that love over here. We're going to show that love right back. And yeah, man, here we go, man. Top 10 WWE heel characters that I love. This is Maverick's top 10, you know, as always. You can make your own list if you disagree, but it is what it is. Yeah, shout out to the homie Maverick, man. Yeah, we back out here in the street. Yeah. Man, Maverick gotta feed the streets, man. You be coming with that heat, dog. See, Maverick be coming with that heat, man. We need to feed the streets, man. Streets dry out here, dog. People ain't working. People gotta eat, B. You know what I'm saying? We ain't eating out here, dog. Maverick got to supply that heat, bro, so everybody out here can eat, bro. But nah, man, shout out to Maverick, though, man. For sure. Make sure y'all go subscribe to that man channel and all that good stuff. And yeah, man, without further ado, let's get right into it. Top 10 WWE heel characters that I love. Let's get it.
What's going on, evening? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Maverick. And today I'm going to bring you yet another amazing list video.
Why keep doing that?
This time we're going to go into another wrestling video. Top 10 WWE heel characters I love. Some of these characters I love for storyline. Some of them I love for executions. Some of them I love for good booking. Some of them I love for matches. Some of them are all the above, rolled into one big cluster F. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and dive on in. You know, reminder, make your own list, and if you disagree. Now, this is just a WWE list, so I'm not including TNA, AEW, nothing. This is just strictly WWE.
All right.
And if you have your own opinions, feel free to discuss them in the comment section, or if you're a creator like me, go ahead and make your own list. But anyways, but yeah, these are top 10 heel WWE characters. For those who are, you know, not caught up on wrestling lingo, heel means villain character, bad guy character, the guys you're supposed to boo.
Yeah. And
some of these guys on here, I did end up hating as a kid, but in hindsight as an adult, from creative lens, I understood why. You know, because these characters.
Over time, I've grown. Oh, back then when I was younger, I used to hate Randy Orton, but as I got after 2009, when I got a little older, after that 2009 run, I look back at it and I said, man, even though I didn't like Randy Orton, this nigga was trying to kill John Cena every fucking week. That was one of the best fucking heels to ever do it, bro. One of the best fucking heels to ever do it, bro. And even when they made him babyface, he could still flip that switch and go back to his evil ways if he needed to. But yeah.
We're meant for you to boo and not like. And when a villain is done good, we the audience can appreciate it.
Yep.
It's better to have a good bad guy than to have a bad good guy. Or or similarly, it's better to have a well executed heel that can generate good heat than a poorly executed babyface that can't get the fans to like them. Yep. So yeah, extra simple. And there's gonna be no more honorable mention. There's gonna be no honorable mentions on this because I intend to make this video pretty much a zoom through. It might be another series where I just do 10 other heels from WWE that I like, because it's more than just these 10, but these 10 are some of my absolute favorites. So yeah, man, without further ado, let's dive on in. We're gonna hit off with number 10. Some of these heels are described in years, some of them in character, some of them a combination of both. But for my first choice, this heel is mainly on here because of what he meant to certain storylines and how well booked the character was. And for this 10th entry, I have 2009 CM Punk. Hot take.
Let's be real. This was CM Punk's best run. Like, let's be real, because y'all overhyped that pipe bomb shit. That pipe bomb shit came and went, bro. That shit up out of here, bro. For real. I'm being real. I'm gonna be real with y'all. That pipe bomb shit overrated.
Get this sorry ass nigga out of here! You suck! Try it!
That shit was trash. And then on top of that, when he was the face of the company for a while, as a face and then as a heel, WWE ratings were at its lowest. WWE ratings were at its lowest when he was champion. Shit didn't change until they brought The Rock back. And they made John Cena the champion. And then after that, you want to know what miraculously happened when they made John Cena the champion again? Ratings went back up. Then the Daniel Bryan story happened, and that was 10 times more entertaining than the bullshit that we was getting from CM Punk, because that shit was boring. It wasn't that good, and y'all can sit up here and say, "Oh, it was the booking. Vince didn't like CM Punk like that, and they always made bad booking and shit." Y'all can make all the excuses y'all want. CM Punk fans, y'all can make all the excuses y'all want, bro. This man best run was when he turned heel and was facing Jeff Hardy. That was his best run. His best run was when he was a heel. And he was before the Nexus. I want to say CM Punk, before he joined the new Nexus. Yeah, before that garbage ass storyline, which pretty much went nowhere, and then he ended up going solo anyway. Like, what the fuck? Like, how you the leader or something, and then they just magically just disband the group, like, out of nowhere. No storyline, no nothing. CM Punk just, the Nexus don't exist no more. I'm just gonna drop a pipe bomb and go my own way. Fuck out of here, bro. I'm just saying though. His best run was when he was a heel facing Jeff Hardy, Undertaker, even though that was it the Hell in the Cell match? Was it a submission match? I think it was a submission match. Yeah, that was some bullshit. But that Hell in the Cell match, that wasn't good either, but I'll take it. Then him versus Rey Mysterio, that was a very good feud for a while. Him and Rey Mysterio, that was a really good feud. After that, his character became kind of cartoonish and PG, and then eventually the pipe bomb happened, and yeah, you know the rest from there. But yeah, that was probably his best run. That 09-010 run was his best run, hands down.
Long hair CM Punk, this version right here was the best version of him. Because if it wasn't for this version, would he have gotten as over as he did post New Nexus? Exactly. So, my reasoning for this is simple. Number one, he was the perfect yin to Jeff Hardy's yang when they feuded in 2009. In fact, even though he was drunk, Jeff Hardy was right about one thing when he admitted this. He was like, "Hey, without me, CM Punk isn't a star." That's what he basically said.
Fact.
I'm just paraphrasing. You don't know word for word, but you can tell by what he was saying in his slurred speech. That's what Jeff Hardy meant. You know what I'm saying? And he's right. Because look, Jeff Hardy was an all live in the moment type guy, and CM Punk was just forcing the straight edge down our throats around that time, and saying, "Ooh, I'm being straight edge means I'm better than you" type ish. And how well his feud with Jeff Hardy was booked, everything from his cash in on him at Extreme Rules after he beat Umaga, to him kicking the referee in the back in the bash, to him, pretty much eviscerating him on the mic every chance he got, even before him losing the World Heavyweight Championship to Jeff Hardy at Night of Champions in July of that year, and then still cooking him and attacking him on the microphone, leading up to him eventually getting the belt back from Jeff Hardy on SummerSlam 09. And then what made us hate him even more is he forced Jeff Hardy in storyline. Now he forced Jeff Hardy out of WWE. Forced Jeff Hardy out of WWE because of the loser leaves WWE.
Facts. That's what really made me start hating CM Punk. That's what really made me start hating. And it's not even that. It's realistically the character. The character itself is like how CM Punk comes off in real life and how the character is. They go hand in hand. So it's like when I see him, it's just like, you a whiny ass bitch. Like, I don't like whiny bitch ass niggas, bro. That's just me. I don't like whiny bitch ass niggas, bro. So if you're gonna be a whiny bitch ass nigga, I can't fuck with you, bro, because you're whining and you're complaining too much. I get it if you got fucked over to the point where they did you dirty. Like, I can understand when they do you dirty. I like any wrestler that gets did dirty by WWE or Vince in any way, shape, or form. I don't agree with that. But in his case, how he was talking about it on that one podcast with Cole Cabana or some shit like that. I believe that's what it was. The way how he was talking about it, you came off very bitch-like you were bitching and moaning and complaining more than anything. And you're like, "Oh man, I don't like this storyline. Let's do something else. Let's do this instead." You got mad because you got mad at certain people for certain things, and it's just like, I mean, I won't sit up here and say the Ryback thing wasn't justified because he injured you, and anytime a wrestler injures another wrestler, you got all rights to call them out. I don't got no problems with that. Hey, you said you Ryback injured you. He's very unsafe to work with. I completely understood that. But it's like some of the other shit, he just came out very whiny and bitchy to me, bro. And y'all CM Punk fans, y'all eat that shit up because it's like you hate you're anti-establishment and you hate anything corporate. So you'll fall in love with a nigga like CM Punk and be like, yeah, he's anti-establishment. If he was anti-establishment, he wouldn't be back in WWE now, would he? Exactly, sellout. Like us, fuck out of here.
Imagine, it made us hate him way even more. And then just when you think that he was done picking on our favorite baby faces, he goes, forms the Straight Edge Society, makes the members shave their freaking heads, and before you know it, he's out here torturing Rey Mysterio, trying to embarrass him in front of his daughter on his daughter's birthday. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much calling him a coward, being like, look, if you lose to me at WrestleMania, you pledge into the Straight Edge Society, and you taking off your mask. Little did Punk know he was in for a rude awakening because Mysterio actually manned up and beat the hell out of Punk at WrestleMania 26. And then he's like, you know what? Since you're a hypocrite, CM Punk, if you lose to me over the limit, you gotta shave your hair. If you lose to me in Extreme Rules, you gotta shave your hair. And then over the limit came hair versus SCH Pledge, and Rey Mysterio won, and he shaved his head, and that's how he got the mask gimmick. But nah, man. And then even between that, his feud with the Undertaker, although not as strong, still deserves some Kasi points because they did a nice callback to the Montreal Screwjob at Breaking Point that year. And, Teddy Long was a nice plot device for him. He was like, you will defend your World Heavyweight Championship against The Undertaker. And that was a week after.
Buckle up, Teddy.
Buckle up, Teddy. You can see CM Punk, man. 2009 CM Punk, what can you say? This was the best character
Teddy.
he put out. Because the Best in the World gimmick, it was primarily just him being able to say whatever the hell he wanted and go off script. That's why it was so groundbreaking. But you want to talk gimmick work and character work, this was peak CM Punk.
Yeah.
Just hot take. Anyways, going to number 9. As I'm recording this, I just realized we are so close to 20 years without this gentleman, but nonetheless, for the solid 5-month run he had as a heel, his character still leaves a lasting impression on all of us. And that's mid-2005 Eddie Guerrero. Another guy that feuded with Rey Mysterio. It's a magic trick. You feud with
Eddie as a heel, low key. Yeah, this was Eddie at his Eddie at his worst, bro. And this is after he won the championship. Everybody, Latino, I lie, I cheat, I steal, bruh. This was, hey, Vince, I'm telling you, bro, Vince from 2002 to 2006, bro. Vince had to be on some of that finest of shit, bro. The finest of shit, bro, that you can get, bro. Cause ain't no way this man was out here. Ain't no way this man was out here making up shit like this. The storylines that this man was coming up with between 2002 and 2006 was some OD shit, bro.
Smoke it, roll that, like that. Smoke it, roll that, like that. Smoke it, roll that.
I'm telling y'all, dog, Vince was smoking on the finest of that shit. Cause ain't no fucking way.
Mysterio, you can become a great heel. It's a magic trick. But nah, like look at this. Him in the middle of the ring with the dim lights. And then it all started. His heel turn started in May. Pretty much him and Rey Mysterio were tag team champions at a point, but they had like a friendly rivalry. You know what I'm saying? It all started with Eddie Guerrero's ego being hurt that he couldn't beat Rey Mysterio. And then by the time May came around and they ended up losing the tag team titles, freaking Eddie pretty much beat the living shit out of him. And then damn near suplexed him on the freaking steel steps and all that. And this was around this time where he was using, my opinion, his greatest theme. You know what I'm saying? Which is, can you feel the heat? Lie, cheat, steal. Nah, with that big guitar riff. Man, that theme was iconic. So iconic that it made it on SVR 06, which would be the very last WWE video game that would be released during Eddie Guerrero's lifetime. But yeah, man, in the short amount of time that we had for heel Eddie, this version of him left a last impression. This man was wild and out. This man was like, your little daughter Aaliyah and your son Dominic, don't make me kill that puppy. Don't make me lose that papa. And then he blamed the fans. You took my Latino hate away from me, but not anymore. Y'all been living vicariously off me, Holmes, but not anymore. This dude had Rey Mysterio's mask in his hand. Man, this feud was freaking legendary. And just when you think it can't get any worse, this dude sit up here and claim that he knocked up Rey's wife, so he had Dominic. He was like, I'm your puppy, Dominic. And then, like, they're shooting promos of him hanging out at the parks and all that. And look, WWE, being WWE, they gave that to Dominic with their let him run with it. He was like, Eddie's my real father. I'm like, dog. If it wasn't for how good Eddie did this, Dirty Dom would never have the guts to say that, you know, and sound like he means it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I put this character in here, because it still reigns, you know, pretty fresh in our memories to this day. How good Eddie played this heel character off. And their, you know, SummerSlam match for the custody of Dominic, fucking iconic. With Vicky Guerrero stopping Eddie, iconic. And their feud finally ended once Eddie finally beat Rey Mysterio in a steel cage match. Which I find it funny, because SmackDown in the 2000s, they always ended their feuds with steel cage matches. You know what I'm saying? Everything from Brock Lesnar versus Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar versus Big Show, Undertaker versus Big Show. It didn't matter. Something when feuds was ready to be over, they'll put a steel cage match on SmackDown.
Facts.
But anyway, enough to that tangent. Eddie, you're still the greatest luchador to ever live. Babyface or heel, we still love you. Rest in peace. You're almost 20 years without you.
Eddie, man.
You know, you died in my hometown. We love you. Rest in peace, Latino Heat. Viva la Raza. Anyway, coming in at number 8. You know, I just got done talking about the best way you can cement yourself as a heel is if you pretty much turn against Rey Mysterio. That's the easiest way to cement yourself as a top heel. And you know what? This next entry turned on Rey Mysterio as well and cemented himself as one of the top heels in the company, especially on one side of the Raw SmackDown spectrum. And he had been a babyface for about 4 years at this point, so a change was necessary. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the outspoken 2009-2010 Batista. Now,
bruh, ain't that much gotta be said, bruh. Just play the music. Just play the music. Just play the music. Just play the music, bruh. 2010. You're supposed to be my friend. You're supposed to be my friend. Yo, that's still the funniest shit to this day. You're supposed to be my friend. He beat the shit out of Rey Mysterio. After that, what was it? I think it was a fatal 4-way between Undertaker, CM Punk, Rey Mysterio, Batista for the World Heavyweight Championship or WWE Champion. No, it's the World Heavyweight Championship. And Ray hit Batista with a 619, and then I think Ray hit Batista with a 619, and then Ray got chokeslam or power drive, or I think I don't remember, but I know he 619'd him, and that's what got Batista out the match, and then it ended. And I know the Undertaker walked away with the title, and Batista got super fucking heated. He was smiling at first. He was like, it's all right, man. He's like, yeah, man, hey, man, it was a fatal 4-way, man. He's like, yeah, it's all right, it's cool, yeah. And then he beat the dog shit out of Rey Mysterio. He whooped his ass, bro. That shit was hilarious, bro, to see. Cause Rey Mysterio is a little dude, so it's like, and Batista big as fuck. So like, just seeing seeing Batista ragdoll Rey Mysterio all up and around the ring, and then go, "You were supposed to be my friend. You were supposed to be my friend." That shit was hilarious. I was dying laughing watching that shit, bro. He was beating the sonic rings out of Rey Mysterio, dog.
This guy, his heel turn started basically after Bragging Rights 2009, where on the other entry I had, which was Straight Edge Society, CM Punk, and Rey Mysterio and Batista were in a fatal 4-way match versus the Undertaker, for the World Heavyweight Championship at Bragging Rights 2009. Now, Bragging Rights 09, it was a pretty good pay-per-view. It was definitely better than Breaking Point and Hell in a Cell. It was a step up. It was a huge step up from that because, you know, anytime WWE brings up the brand split and tries to implement it to a pay-per-view, they usually do good. Usually. And Batista, you know, lost the match because, as we all know, Undertaker retained the title. I forgot who was it that he pinned. I think it was CM Punk he pinned. But in the midst of everything, I remember in the match that Rey Mysterio and Batista was fighting to get a cover. And they were breaking up each other's pinfalls. And you start to see Cesar Batista's heel turn mid-match. And Batista was like, "You're supposed to be my friend, Rey. You're supposed to be my friend." And then after the match, I think it was either Josh Matthews or Todd Grisham that came in there and interviewed them both. And he was like, "Hey, we got close, man. There's always next time." That's what Rey Mysterio was on. And then Batista, I think he grabbed the mic from Todd Grisham and was like, "You know, I'm sick and tired of always coming this close. You know what else, Rey? I'm sick and tired of my best friend stabbing me in the back."
Yep, he sure did.
You think I'm playing, Rey? I'm not playing.
And beat the shit out that.
I'm gonna rip your head off. And then he just drops the mic as if he's reluctant to just take a step back. And then out of nowhere, he yells like, "Ah!" And then clotheslines him.
He
and
beat
then
the shit
he
out of
lays the absolute smackdown on him. Like,
beat the shit out of Rey.
Talking about it, he was like, "He's coming close. All right." And then he was like, "You're supposed to be my friend." And then
You're supposed to be my friend.
Then Rey was like, Dave, please, man, don't do this, man. Dave, please, man, we can work this out." He's like, "You're supposed to be my friend." He's like, Dave, please, man. And then he was like, "Ah!" And then just chucked him onto the ring barricade.
Beat the shit out of
Beat the living shit out of him. And then the next night on SmackDown, he claimed that
my God,
he has no more friends in the business, and that the spotlight should always be on him when he's talking. And then, Rey Mysterio, you know, basically he was trying to plead with him and convince with him, and then Batista pretty much hit him with, "Eddie's dead, Rey." And that made him feel so uncomfortable saying that because he was real life close with Eddie Guerrero. He was like, Rey was like, "Yo, what about Eddie? Eddie wouldn't want us fighting." And then Batista was like, "Eddie's dead, Rey." He did not feel like saying that at all. You know what I'm saying? And it was halfway.
Vince always had to do that, bro. Vince always had to pull that card, bro. He did it with Randy Orton and he did it with Batista. I think he did it with CM Punk too. Did he not? He did it with somebody. It was a third person that said that had to disrespect Eddie Guerrero and they didn't want to. Vince. There's a reason why Vince ain't with the company no more, bro. It's a reason why Vince ain't with the company no more. And it's for good reason too.
Get him. Don't touch the fucking car. Get him. Don't touch the legs up. Fuck them legs up. Bitch ass. Fuck them legs up. That man, young boy. That man, young boy. This is what the fuck is. And let them come back to this fucking block. I'm gonna do something. Then I see you.
I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying.
But anyway, so Survivor Series comes down and Batista basically whoops Mysterio's ass. So good that I think he ends up getting like a title shot, and then he lost to the Undertaker. Now, just when you think that was the end of the magical heel Batista, after he lost to Undertaker in a chairs match, fucking Vince McMahon. After he had John Cena pretty much defend Bret Hart from, you know, the vicious assault that him and Batista laid on him, because, you know, Batista was Vince McMahon's personal muscle at the time too when he went to Raw. So, and Vince rewarded Batista with a world title match. You know what I'm saying? With a WWE Championship match afterwards.
Put some background music in the background.
Batista, Sheamus was the WWE champion going in, and John Cena pretty much beat everybody in the steel cage. Not steel cage, beat everybody in the chamber match by forcing. He got Triple H to tap out. You know what I'm saying? And he won the title. But shades of about 4 years before that, during New Year's Revolution, when Vince McMahon came out and interrupted him for only another entrant on this list to cash in on him, Batista, with no money in the bank, comes out the curtain after Vince McMahon was like, "Congratulations, John, you're going to WrestleMania, but only if you can put your title on the line and face this man right now." Batista comes out against a weakened John Cena.
That didn't make no sense. That made little to no sense. Like, why would you? I remember it though, because that was like when Bret Hart had came back and John Cena and Batista beat the fuck out of Bret Hart, and then John Cena came in and beat up Batista, and then And then fucking Vince was like, "Oh, so you want to be on Bret Hart? You want to be on Bret Hart's side, huh? You want to be Mr. Goody Two Shoes, huh? I got something for that ass." But like at the same time, while I kind of understand it, at the same time, it's kind of like that shit was still kind of like unnecessary, bruh. That shit was still kind of unnecessary, bruh. Cause it still don't make sense to this day to do that. It would have been better if they had just waited until Monday Night Raw and then pulled off the surprise. It's like, nah, we got to do it at a pay-per-view when everybody paid for the content. You could have did it on Raw for free and you would have set up WrestleMania. You would have made more money. You was going to make money at WrestleMania regardless. Batista versus John Cena at WrestleMania. That's WrestleMania worthy. We going to watch that, bro. That was real life. Like niggas was really arguing about that shit, bro. Real wrestling fans was arguing about that shit, bro. Nah, bro. Batista always been the GOAT, bro. Bro. That was real life arguments, bro. Like niggas was really getting heated over that shit, bro. Like dead ass.
Hits him with a spear, hits him with a Batista bomb, and pins him. 1, 2, 3. Batista is your new WWE champion. And for weeks, back and forth, they trade insults. Batista roasting the fans, telling them, when I see you people, I don't see people, I see money, dollar signs. I'm not,
bruh. Batista was at his best as a heel, bruh.
In this business to make friends. I'm not in this business for the fans. I'm in here to make money. I'm here to win titles. And then John Cena was like, I do this for them. The reason why you got left at the back burner, Dave, is because the people knew what they saw in me every single week. And then Batista was like, cut the John. You know I deserve to be in your spot. This company made the fatal mistake of choosing you when it should have been me. You and I, our careers peaked around the same time. We both won world titles at WrestleMania 21. We both were the leading men on our respective brands. Well, not anymore. You remember the last time, John, we were in the ring? Bad things happened, John. In fact, it was not that long ago that I broke your neck. And I guarantee you, at WrestleMania 26, bad things will happen again. You know what I'm saying? And John Cena's going out on a limb, like, you know what I'm saying, doing his usual Super Cena promo and all that. And then, like, you know, there were some promos where they, like, you know, they had security separate them two while they talked and all that, only for it to not work and all that. You know what I'm saying? But regardless, it still doesn't change the fact that heel Batista coming out every week whining. And then, you know what I'm saying, how he went out was hilarious too, because he was like if you want another shot for the WWE Championship, Batista, well, but Bret Hart was I think he was the guest host for Raw that night. He was like, if you want another shot at WWE title, Batista, you got to qualify for it. You can do it right now by qualifying for the Fatal 4-Way right now, and your opponent is Randy Orton. He was like, are you kidding me? I can't compete. I'm hurt. I can't compete. Dude was in a wheelchair and all that. It was like I'm giving you your shot, Batista. You either take it or you forfeit. And he was like, well, your choice. The winner and moving on to the Fatal 4-Way match for the WWE Championship by forfeit, Randy Orton. Because remember, Batista threatened, if you do that right now, I'll quit. I'll quit right now on the spot. And then Batista told everybody, was in the middle of it, he was like, you think I won't quit? You think I won't quit? I guarantee you, everybody will be so bored once I leave here. I quit. This dude was on one. It left a lasting impression on all of us, because we never thought the big guy would go back to being a heel, because the last time he was a heel, he was part of Evolution. But yeah, man, this version of Batista doesn't get the credit he deserves. I'm showing it today, man. Heel Batista for 2009.
Absolutely, bro.
Coming in at number 7. Dang, we 21 minutes in. I'm gonna try to blitz through this real quick. It's Triple H from 2003 to 2006. And
just call it the Reign of Terror. Just call it what it is, the Reign of Terror. Triple H's Reign of Terror era.
And the reason why I say 2003 to 2006 is because this nigga always had the World Heavyweight title. And even when he was, you know, had the belt took off him, it was only a matter of time before he had it again.
Exactly.
Like the first time he got it, he was handed it by Eric Bischoff. You know?
This was probably the worst era. This is why SmackDown was so much heat around this time, bro. Because on Raw, every fucking time, bro, you turn around, you see a new champion, you're like, oh, good, a new champion. And then just a couple of pay-per-views, and then the very next pay-per-view, the title is back around Triple H's waist, and you are sitting there looking at this shit like, why? you were literally sitting there looking at this shit like, why?
Nigga, fuck your team.
This is why SmackDown was the move back then from 2002. Shit, even when John Cena left and went to Raw, bro, from 2002, I want to say all the way up until like 2013, SmackDown was the fucking move, bro.
You know what I'm saying? And then like what also worked with this run is that it was so annoying seeing him with the belt, but it was also so satisfying to see him go down. Like, the only big positives he had on this run is the WCW talent he was fed, because Scott Steiner was slow and couldn't really go like that in the ring anymore. And it showed, because their Royal Rumble 2003 match was ass. And then him trading the title with Goldberg was pretty fun. I liked that feud. Him losing to Chris Benoit was pretty dope. Only for him to get it back in a triple threat match. Only for him to get it back after Randy Orton pretty much dropped the title back to him after he won it off of Chris Benoit. Like, he dropped the title back to him. I think it was Unforgiven, was it? 2004. But yeah, man. And then shoot, I think the title got vacated for some real reason, and then he ended up winning it back at New Year's Revolution. And then Batista won the Royal Rumble, and Triple H, you know what I'm saying, was trying to convince him to go after the WWE Championship and go to SmackDown, but Batista was like, nuh-uh, and he pulled a Uno reverse card by putting his thumbs down and pretty much powerbombed him through the table. He was like, I'm staying right here on Raw, and I'm coming after your World Heavyweight Championship. And WWE teased it so good. It was the downfall of this character is just as iconic as Reign, because remember when Triple H was this version of himself, this nigga ran Evolution with an iron fist. Like, he was the captain, he was the leader. Ric Flair was the head coach, Triple H was the owner, you know what I'm saying, and the GM, you know what I mean. And Randy Orton and Batista were the players, because think about it, he had the world, them niggas ran Raw, all four of them. He got the World Heavyweight Championship. Randy Orton had the Intercontinental belt. Ric Flair and Batista had the World Tag titles, all simultaneously at the point. And we all wanted to see Evolution go down and crawl. But yeah, man. Now, one misstep that they had was him pretty much burying RVD and Booker T. I feel like those guys should have, well, especially more RVD, because RVD was hella over in the early 2000s. I feel like he should have.
Booker T should have won at WrestleMania. But
at least come November of that year, we got to see the first Elimination Chamber match, which he dropped the title to Shawn Michaels. I thought that was amazing. But yeah, as much flack as Triple H gets for burying talent, there was a lot of guys he put over as well. Begrudgingly, he put over Goldberg. He put over Shawn Michaels. He put over Benoit by tapping to him. You know what I'm saying? There were some guys he put over. But yeah. And how he put over Batista so good toward the end of this run, classic. Especially their Hell in a Cell match in June of 2005, classic. Anyway, let's move on. Number six. We have the Infernal Menace himself, Kane. Now, this version of Kane,
play the music. I'm just gonna keep it real with you, bro. This is one of my top 3 heels. This is one of my top 3 heel runs that I witnessed. When they unmasked Kane and he started lighting motherfuckers on fire, setting bro. Best fucking heel I ever seen. Some of the best. This is how you take a big man and make him a threat. You just have him do shit. He was burning motherfuckers. He was handcuffing motherfuckers to ring posts and electrocuting their balls. He was electrocuting niggas' balls. This man was torturing people. The best top 3 heel runs of all time. I don't care what anybody say. Top 3 heel runs, bro. When they unmasked Kane, greatness came out of this.
Oh my god! When he first took off his mask and chokeslammed RVD, my god! And his theme song, oh my lord,
that 0203 Kane, that music, fire. That's his best theme song, or the best version of his theme song.
You knew some shit was gonna go off. I remember one time the pyro went off and Evolution was brawling and all that, and he all got scared. Everybody got scared, and Ric Flair pretty much tripped over himself. And then, like, I think it was RVD versus Triple H, and he was about to chokeslam RVD, but then he turned around and chokeslammed Eric Bischoff off of the Raw stage onto the table. And the way that they zoomed in on Kane's face, he was like this. And then, dog, probably the most egregious shit he ever did was when this man took gasoline and poured it all over JR and set him on fire. And JR was like, ow. And he was like, I don't like when people make fun of me. And then Steve Austin tried to come up to me. He was like, okay, we trying to help you, not hurt you. We trying to help you, not make fun of you. So sit down. He was like, you want to help me, Austin? Well, you want to feel my pain? He was like, yes. Do you want to help me, JR? Yes, I do. I see a man that needs help. No one likes to be made fun of, Kane. And then he was like, JR, the only way you can identify with it is by experiencing it yourself. I think you need to feel my pain. And once he lit JR on fire, man, he was like, fry, you son of a bitch. Fry. Man. Then his feud with RVD and subsequently Shane McMahon, where he taped freaking Shane McMahon to the ring post and electrocuted his testicles. Menace behavior. And then, like, dog, even in November of that year, when Kane beat him in an ambulance match, this man went completely rogue and turned on his brother, The Undertaker, when he was the American Badass during his feud with Vince in a Buried Alive match, and put him in that hole. You know what I'm saying? And then put Vince McMahon in the damn heavy shovel, and then just helped him bury.
And that's when they ruined his character, because when Undertaker came back as The Undertaker, they ruined the entire character, because now he's scared of his brother. When he first came into WWE, he was not scared of his brother. His brother was scared of him. Then they flip. Vince ruined. Vince, we worked and ruined a lot of the original plot of these characters that came into the WWE, bro. Because Kane was never scared of the Undertaker. So when he made him scared of the Undertaker, and by the way, that match was fucking terrible. That match was god awful. WrestleMania 20, Kane versus Undertaker. That shit was garbage. That match was fucking garbage, bro.
Try it. That shit is fucking trash, dog. Get the fuck off the airwaves.
I'm just gonna say, bro, they ruined his entire character after that.
That version of Undertaker. And he was like, my brother was no longer himself. He became one of you. Fucking classic, bro. But yeah, this version of Kane was a menace, dude. Also, this version of Kane is also known for allegedly getting Lita pregnant. And, dog, Gene Snitsky coming out and punting their baby.
It wasn't my fault.
That's was the biggest sign that this domination of this version of Kane was heading off a cliff. Because the booking from 02, 03 to like mid 04, stuff a legend. But when they did that whole him marrying Lita after getting her pregnant type BS, no. That was more crazy than what Triple H did by, committing necrophilia on his dead girlfriend.
Katie Vick. Oh my god.
He's still one of the best heel characters of all time. 2000 Unmasked Kane. Anyway, going into the top 5. Okay, we're at 30-minute mark. I'm trying to blitz through this. We got the Rated R Superstar Edge from 06 to 2009. And the reason, not 06, 2005 to 2009.
Play the music. One of the most diabolical heels to ever do this shit. Rumor has it he may be John Cena's final opponent. They're saying it's Gunther for right now. Everybody, for months now, it's been Gunther, which I kind of don't want. It doesn't make sense. There's no reason for Gunther to end John Cena to be John Cena's final opponent. But rumor has it that it may be Edge, and WWE is throwing little hints here and there. They're throwing John Cena and Edge matches out there, so there may be a possibility that Edge may be coming back to face John in one final match for the final time. Which, in my personal opinion, that would be the best way for him to go out. I think out of all of them, Randy will always be the most synonymous with John, but Edge will always be his best rival. Randy will be synonymous with John. They will always be synonymous with each other. But Edge will always be his best rival. Best storylines, best matches, all came from Edge. When we're talking about John Cena. So if he is the final opponent, best way to go out. If it's Gunther,
try it. Stop it. Get some help.
we should boycott Saturday Night Main Event if that's the case. If it's going to be Gunther, we just boycott Saturday Night's Main Event. We don't even watch it. We hate to do it to John because he doesn't deserve that, but that's the thing. He doesn't deserve that. We know who we want. Let him go out the way that he should go out. Okay, this is his final match. Let him go out the way he wants to go out, bro. Let's get Edge. You gave us Brock Lesnar for no apparent reason. You wasted an appearance. You wasted a John Cena appearance with fucking Brock Lesnar, bro. You wasted another appearance with R-Truth. So, okay, we want to see if this is going to be John Cena's last run. Let him go out facing guys who are true, who have somewhat significance to his career. Okay, the Cody Rhodes one was understandable because he was a champion at the time. That was completely understandable. Cody Rhodes one I have no problem with. CM Punk, Randy Orton, absolutely. They're some of his biggest rivals. But none is bigger than Edge. Edge is his best rival, hands down. We got the AJ Styles match. Thankful for that one. Sadly, we'll never get the Undertaker match that we always dreamed about because Undertaker's old as shit and he shouldn't be nowhere near the ring. Unless he teaching the younger group of kids in the business how to wrestle. Undertaker shouldn't be anywhere in the ring. Okay, but when it comes to Edge, he's the best one, and I think that's how it should be. It should be Edge versus John Cena one last time.
The reason why I say this is because him turning heel and winning the Money in the Bank started off this rated R / ultimate opportunist gimmick. And we all hated him because he always tried to find some way to associate himself with someone to get into the world title picture and win it.
No, I think we all hated him because of the Matt Hardy situation first. Yeah, we all hated him for the Matt Hardy situation. But it was more Lita than Matt. It was more Lita than Edge. Edge just played into the character really well.
And we did not like him with the world title because you know he was going to talk big shit. That he did. This is John Cena's greatest rival. It's not Randy Orton. It's not Triple H. It's not CM Punk. And it's not The Rock. It's this guy.
Yeah.
They told a great story together. Well, first of all, let's also knock down that this nigga was a sleazeball for stabbing Matt Hardy in the back and sleeping with his girlfriend while he was at home recovering from a torn ACL. That's when the real heat started to creep on him. He had already been a heel otherwise because he was beefing with Shawn Michaels earlier in the year. But the heel turn went to magma volcano levels of heelish heat, okay? You know how hot volcano lava is. So yeah. And then just when you think it don't get no worse, this man wins the Loser Leaves Raw match against Matt Hardy and forces him to go to SmackDown. And this nigga still holding on to his Money in the Bank, cashes in on John Cena at New Year's Revolution to become a WWE champion. And this nigga, just when you think he can't take it another level, this man does what we all young boys wish we could do at that age. Is have sex with Lita in the middle of the fucking ring.
Hell no.
I can't believe it. This man, in celebration of his...
Don't get me wrong, Lita was bad. Lita had them titties. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna hold you. Lita definitely had them titties though. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Lita definitely had them titties, bro.
My mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me yes.
Let me suck your titties, baby. No.
Lita definitely had them titties, but let's keep it real, bro. Let's keep it real. She wore too much makeup, bro, and her face was a little too greasy for me, bro. Like her face was just too greasy for me, bro. Like, and then she wore too much makeup on top of that too. But the titties was sitting right though. I ain't gonna hold you. But other than that though, man, hell no. I'm good on Lita. Now you would have said Trish Stratus, okay. Or if you would have said who else was in WWE? Jillian Hall? If you would have said Jillian Hall or Trish Stratus, hell yeah.
WWE title win took Lita down in the middle of the ring.
You a freaky ass nigga.
Exactly. And this man, thankfully John Cena, well, Ric Flair coming down and saying that he's horrible and this act was funny, but John Cena pretty much put a stop to that shit. Dude, me and my older brother almost got put on punishment for that. Like we almost got in trouble because thankfully our cable service had a last button on the damn remote, so we was able to switch between Spike TV and the Disney Channel.
Man, I had cable in my room, so shit, you couldn't tell me shit. I had cable in my room, so you couldn't tell me shit. I had cable in my room, so shit, I wasn't gonna get in trouble for watching that shit. I had the volume up and everything. I didn't give no fuck. Shit, I had my door closed. I was in there. I took my shower. I did my homework. I ate my food. I was ready to go to bed. I was just sitting there watching Raw. Yep, just another episode of Raw, and my mama don't know nothing about it.
So yeah, we were so blessed around that time. We were so blessed. Hold on real quick. But yeah, we were so blessed around this time. We were so blessed. This doggone thing. There we go. We were so blessed that we had last round. Because man, if mom and dad would have caught us watching, Lita give Edge top in the middle of that ring, oh my lord, we'd be so grounded. But yeah, man. And then like this nigga goes on a huge run, especially when he gets to SmackDown, of screwing over our favorite wrestlers, our top baby faces. This nigga will screw over the Undertaker after screwing over Mr. Kennedy. Well, Mr. Kennedy was legit injured, so he had to drop his money in the bank to Edge so he could heal it from injury. So this nigga cashed in on the fucking Undertaker. And then he ended up getting injured because he tore his pectoral, so he had to give up the title. But this nigga comes back during Undertaker's and Batista's amazing feud over the World Heavyweight title in the middle of the Hell in a Cell match and screws them both and screws them over again. And I'm like, this nigga just don't stay out the fucking way. Now, what felt so satisfying is to watch him go down in WrestleMania 24, especially after he had the Edge heads come and help him out. You feel what I'm saying? He had the Edge heads come and try to help him out, and Undertaker put a stop to that shit real early. And he made this nigga Edge tap. Because I thought Edge initially was supposed to break the streak. But, Edge, out of respect for Undertaker, was like, you know what? I want him to keep his streak. I just can't put myself to it. Now, he had a counter for every signature move Undertaker had in the book. But what he didn't have a counter for was that Hell's Gate submission hold, and he tapped out to it, thus putting the move over. Sadly, he married Vicky Guerrero in storyline, who was the general manager of Friday Night SmackDown. And Vicky Guerrero stripped Undertaker the title because she banned that damn Hell's Gate move. So he ended up getting an opportunity for the world title again. And then that match ended in double count out at Judgment Day. And then come One Night Stand, Extreme Rules One Night Stand. Him and Undertaker go at it in a TLC match. And Undertaker ends up losing because he takes a big ass butt falling through shit tons of tables. And because he lost, he had to leave the WWE. And I'm like, no! This nigga just can't stop screwing over our favorite wrestlers. No! Oh, I hated him so bad. I wanted him to go down. Thankfully, his run to the top did not last very long at that because CM Punk cashed in on him after Batista whooped his ass. And I'm like, yes, finally, he doesn't have a belt no more. He doesn't deserve it. And then to make it even more amazing, this man, in the middle of renewing his wedding vows. Well, not renewing his wedding vows, in the middle of the wedding. Mind you, Edge just got named number one contender for Triple H's WWE Championship at the time. Triple H comes out in typical Triple H fashion and crashes the wedding with him getting shown a video of Edge cheating on Vicky by kissing Alicia Fox. And I'm like, how slimy of an individual can you get, and how sloppy are you to get caught like this? So because of that, Vicky pretty much punishes Edge by not only did he lose the match against Triple H, Vicky brings back the Undertaker, and Undertaker chokeslams him, like, and then mind you, they're in a Hell in a Cell match, so anything goes. Undertaker chokeslams him off the top of a ladder after he stole the spear from him, and then Edge gets chokeslammed so hard that he puts a hole in the ring in the canvas, and the hole in the ring is so massive that Undertaker is able to light the damn hole on fire. And we thought that was the end of Edge. But nope. This slimy fuck comes back. See, we were supposed to get...
He's here. Oh my God, it's Jeff Hardy. He's coming down to the ring. Dun, 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 dun. You think you know me? Dun, dun, dun. Ah! Oh man, we used to hate Edge, bro. As soon as that, you think you know me?
How do you do that? How do you do that? What the hell is going on?
Oh my gosh.
All of us was just upset, bro. All of us was upset.
The triple threat match between Vladimir Kozlov, Jeff Hardy, and Triple H for the WWE Championship, but this slimy fucker comes back. After Jeff Hardy is in storyline, attacked, and put out of action because of the stairwell incident, and this nigga comes back. Vicky announces him as the third entrant in the triple threat match. She was like, as promised, this will be a triple threat match. Ladies and gentlemen, he is here. Here he is. And I'm like, wait a minute. Something's off. She wouldn't introduce Jeff Hardy like this, and I'm like, what? It's Edge? Where did this nigga come? First of all, what's this nigga doing with a beard? Second of all, why can't this dude stay out of the WWE title, World Heavyweight title picture? Why? But anyway, this nigga ends up winning the title off of Triple H. And I'm like, after Jeff Hardy came through and interfered, I'm like, yup, he probably was the one who attacked Jeff Hardy. Or at least so I thought at the time. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. And then he eventually drops the title to Jeff Hardy in the triple threat match between him and Triple H. And I was so happy for Jeff Hardy around this time. We all were, bro.
Yeah.
Like, we all was cheering for Jeff Hardy around this time. Only for him to lose the title right back to Edge because a bitch ass Matt Hardy hitting him in the head with a fucking chair. And I'm like, why does this nigga Edge always have to keep getting bailed out? I'm sick of this man. Then he hilariously loses the title again in an Elimination Chamber match for the WWE Championship by getting rolled up by Jeff Hardy. I'm like, wait, no way. He got eliminated that quick? Yes! Get your bitch ass out of here, Edge. Get out of here. Yes.
Only to beat up Kofi Kingston and get into the
Only
WWE title.
To my horror, later on that same night, this nigga, while Kofi Kingston is doing his intro, this nigga drops Kofi Kingston from the back of the head. I'm like, wait, what is this? No, don't tell me. And this dude delivers a concerto to the back of Kofi Kingston's head while he's on the steel steps. This happened at No Way Out, by the way. So he just smacks Kofi Kingston with the steel chair, and Kofi Kingston is out with a storyline concussion. And Edge just inserts himself in the chamber. I'm like, yo, Stephanie McMahon, general manager, or whoever's running Raw, Vince. Well, Vince was hurt and out with a concussion, so it was Stephanie McMahon or whoever the heck's running Raw around this time. Anybody gonna stop this? Who? Anybody gonna stop this? He's a SmackDown superstar. This is a Raw title. Like, how is he able to be here? And then, lo and behold, Edge ends up winning the title after finally eliminating Winston. I'm like, this dude, man, why can't he not have a world title? Why? And this was kid me. Adult me, I understand, but kid me, I hated this nigga with a passion.
Facts.
He screwed over our best baby faces.
We all did.
And no, mind you, WrestleMania 25 comes around, my boy Cena comes through in the clutch yet again and takes the title off of him. I'm like, yes. But Backlash Online comes out and dumbass Big Show comes out and helps Edge win the title after chokeslamming John Cena through his damn spot.
Fucking Big Show.
This nigga stay getting lucky. And then he goes up against Jeff Hardy again for the World Heavyweight title at Judgment Day, and he gets bailed out by Matt Hardy yet again when Jeff got smacked in the back of the head. Thankfully, his dominance run as a heel World Heavyweight champion finally came to an end when Jeff Hardy beat him at Extreme Rules 09 in a ladder match for the world title after getting Edge hung up. And I'm like, oh, it's over. And then when it got announced that, you know, CM Punk was going to defend the World Heavyweight title on Raw against both Edge and Jeff Hardy, I'm like, I really hope Edge doesn't win. And when CM Punk won, I'm like, thank you, God. Oh, thank you, God. Now, they finally spun Edge into a different division. They summoned the tag team division with Jericho forming Rated Y2J, which lasted only for a couple weeks because, you know, they won the Unified Tag Team Championships as a duo in June at WWE The Bash, after beating Carlito and Primo and Legacy, which was Ted DiBiase and Cody Rhodes for the titles. But during a routine title defense, Edge pretty much tore his Achilles. Yep. And was rendered out for the remainder of 2009. And in the midst of that, you know, horrific injury, Chris Jericho goes on the mic and berates him for it. While Edge is at home recovering, he claps back at Chris Jericho, thus turning him pretty much babyface at this point. And that was the end of slimy, bailouty, cocky, ultimate opportunist Edge. That was the end of that version of Edge. But yeah, this is still one of the greatest heel characters I've watched because of how much he made you hate him. But anyway, we're going to move right along because we're going on 40 minutes. Will you stop increasing my daggone Zoom, please? Anyway, coming at fourth place, we got John Cena. This is Dr. Thugonomics John Cena. Will you stop resetting? Thank you. We got Thugonomics John Cena in fourth place. Reason why, you know, how this comes down with the refs, you know.
I don't know about him being so high though. I could understand it, like his Dr. Thugonomics run when he was a heel, a proper heel. Absolutely, he deserves to be mentioned, but I don't know about number 4. Top 5 though. Over Batista run, over Kane run. Nah, bro. He was just a nigga that talk shit on. He just a motherfucker that talk shit on the microphone, and sometimes he backed it up and won matches.
I'm saying, I had to put this here because Dr. Thumbnobbins, even though he eventually would get over and turn face, a lot of y'all forgot that he started off as a heel because the fans didn't really rock with him at first, and then by the time he put on
Actually started off as a face, then turned heel.
that gimmick with him and Bull Buchanan being B squared as his muscle, as his bodyguard, this nigga was rap battling Rikishi and losing. This nigga was spitting bars against Brock Lesnar. Hey, Brock Lesnar, here comes the pain. God, build me strong. Forget to give me brain. This nigga was cooking Undertaker. He said some. I heard rumors about you, dog. You used to hit on men often. I two-way Paul Bearer and shit. You share the same coffin. And then he even was like when he was about to pee on one of his graves, he was like I'm gonna prove that the big dog is all bark. I'm gonna claim my territory. Piss right on the mark. You know what I'm saying? And then when he went up against Eddie Guerrero, he cooked it. He was like, you got no hydraulics in your car. You got a sexual sickness. His car bounces up and down because he sits on the stick shift. And then he said I was a Jedi Knight. I was a stunt double for Anakin. I fight with my lightsaber. His is for backdoor shenanigans. And I'm like, yo, he was cooking Eddie. Sadly, he would lose that parking lot brawl match. But this is all the shit that he was saying when he was a heel. You know what I'm saying? It was this shit that got him over the fence because it was just him not giving a fuck on that mic. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? And like, even when he cooked that guy one for being a one-legged wrestler, he was like
The funniest one was against what was dude named Brian Kendrick, bro. The shit against Brian Kendrick when he had the fucking random referee do the beatboxing and shit. That was the funniest one to me personally.
You're good for two things. One is being a waste of space. The other is being the perfect partner for a three-legged race. But yeah, man. This was the beginning of John Cena just usurping his popularity. You know what I'm saying? In WWE. And I had to put him here because, this character started out as a heel character. And it eventually got over. And then you already know what happens. The rest is history. We are about a whole month away from John Cena hanging up the jorts and hanging up the sneakers and calling it a career. So we're going to celebrate the greatest of all time by putting him in this top 5. For sure. Stop resetting. Anyway. Coming in at number 3. We have 2008 Chris Jericho. Mainly because of how amazing him.
Ain't much got to be said. Just play the music. Ain't much got to be said, bruh.
And his feud with Shawn Michaels was. First of all, his heel turn was probably the most justified out of all the ones we have. Because Shawn Michaels faked the injury. And when Chris Jericho asked him about it, he lied about it. So, and the fans still stuck with Shawn Michaels even after he lied. And he was like, you know what? F y'all. So, as a result, we got the best in the world at what he does. You know what I'm saying? It was primarily because of his mannerisms of him being a so-called nice guy, so-called good man. Like, he was the definition of, a diabolical, methodical, cocky, brash heel. You know what I'm saying? He would always come down the ring and be like, I am Chris Jericho. I am the best in the world at what I do. And then followed up by calling all the fans. And there's nothing more that all of you parasites and hypocrites and you sycophants can say. He would always call all of us that. Parasites, hypocrites, all of that. And then he was like, Shawn Michaels, he's a hypocrite. I'll tell you why. He claims he's a good man, but look at all these vicious things he's done to me. And he's showing all the welts and the chipped tooth and all the scars and all that. And this was the night after he lost to Shawn Michaels in an unsanctioned match, but the same night where he snuck in the back door pause and pinned Kane to win the World Heavyweight Championship in the scramble match at Unforgiven. Claiming his first of 3 World Heavyweight Championships he won. You know what I'm saying? And then, like I said earlier, this dude berated Edge for getting injured on while they were a tag team and chose Big Show to defend the unified tag team belts. And once that alliance soured, after they lost the belts to DX, Jericho entered the World Heavyweight Title Elimination Chamber match, and he won at the expense of Undertaker getting screwed by Shawn Michaels. You know what I'm saying? So he got a little cocky, and berated everybody in the locker room. He was like, "I'm going to WrestleMania. I'm going to WrestleMania because I'm the best in the world at what I do." Only for face Edge to come out and say, "You're going to WrestleMania, Jericho, but against me." And then, like, the way he beat Edge, first he clocked him with the belt and then hit him with a code breaker. And yeah, this version of Jericho,
and then lost to Jack Swagger the next Friday Night SmackDown.
There was hardly anything more entertaining in late 2008 than this version of Jericho on Raw, because remember, around this time, John Cena was injured because he had the neck injury the same SummerSlam that Chris Jericho punched Shawn Michaels' wife in the face, and that looked pretty real. Not gonna lie, that looked pretty real. And then
that was real. He said it wasn't supposed to be like that, but he actually ended up hitting Shawn Michaels' wife in the face really hard by accident. He didn't mean to. he didn't mean to. What was supposed to happen was she was supposed to just fall. She was supposed to fall as soon as his fist got close enough. She didn't fall in time, and Chris Jericho actually ended up punching her in the fucking face, and she fell and actually got clocked. And Chris Jericho's looking like, oh shit, I'm about to get fired. Little did he know that just made his heel run 10 times better than what it was.
And then, like, even before that, Jericho smashed Shawn Michaels' face to the Jeritron 5000. You know what I'm saying? That was iconic. It was just a lot of moments for Jericho that made me put him up. And then, like, he showed some moments where he was pretty cowardly. Like, when he, at Cyber Sunday, he damn near ran away from Batista. You know what I'm saying? Until Steve Austin was like, if you get disqualified or counted out, you think you retain the title, but like, that ain't gonna happen. If Stone Cold Steve Austin counts you out or disqualifies, you'll last. That title's changing hands tonight. And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold says so. So he goes through with the match, and he gets his ass beat by Batista. 1, 2, 3. Sadly, this little fever dream of Batista's ended the days because he would get Jericho would get the title back after Jericho picked off a steel ring from the steel cage and bashed Batista's head in, allowing Jericho to escape the cage and win his second of 3 World Heavyweight titles.
Yep.
And Mike Adley declared that since John Cena didn't participate in the scramble match due to injury, he's now entitled to a title shot. So regardless of who won the night, John Cena was the next in line for a shot. And Jericho would go on and just berate the fans for liking John Cena. You know what I'm saying? Berate his son Ash for saying his favorite wrestler was John Cena. It was just, you know, epic ways of generating heel heat. You know,
that match with John Cena was ass.
Try it. That shit is fucking trash, dog. Get the fuck off the airwaves.
I saw what they were trying to do, but that match was ass, bro. I definitely saw what they was trying to do, though. They was trying to make, like, there was some good key points in there, like John Cena has ring rust. John Cena's neck can easily be damaged again. John Cena fear of going up on the top rope because he tried to climb the top rope, and he was going to climb up to the top rope, but then he second guessed it and didn't go on the top rope. And they didn't play into it, though. They didn't play into it until him going back on the top rope and jumping off of it and doing his leg drop that he normally did, because the last time he did that, Batista caught him midair and set his ass to the fucking ground. But that's how the disc in his neck got irritated. I think it got irritated. It didn't tear completely, but it definitely got irritated to the point where he had to go get surgery to get it fixed. But other than that, though, that match was ass. They could have told an amazing story for John Cena and Chris Jericho coming back, because that should have been like a 3. I think that did go 3 pay-per-views. I think it did. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But they could have told a tremendous story with that, and they fucked it up so fucking badly.
But yeah, man. This version of Jericho, amazing stuff. Coming in at number 2, I'm gonna try to get through this quick because I think we're coming on about 50 minutes, so I'm gonna try not to make this an hour, but talking about this kind of stuff gets me hyped. Anyway, coming in on the second entry, we have 2009 Randy Orton.
Yes, sir.
How could I not put this version of Randy?
He should be number 1. He should be number 1. 09 Randy Orton should be number 1 without question. Without question.
In the top 3. How could I not? This man punted people's heads off like it was nobody's business. This man cost the CM Punk the World Heavyweight title while on injury reserve. This man punted Vince McMahon in the head. This man formed one of the greatest stables of all time, Legacy, which was a slightly less successful version of the stable he was originally part of, which was Evolution. But still, regardless, when he was WWE champion, they was World Tag Champs. You know what I'm saying? Or he's trying to be WWE champion. But yeah, man. This man went on a diabolical run of ripping through the McMahons. He punted Vince, beat Shane in No Way Out after he won the Royal Rumble match with Legacy's help, eliminating Triple H, of course. And then this man punished Shane, RKO Stephanie, slid it out of the ring before Triple H could respond with an ass kicking of his own. And then this man DDT'd Steph, knocking her out while Triple H was handcuffed by the help of Legacy. And then kissed Stephanie right in front of him. And then he had a nerve to claim that he had a condition and wanted to sue WWE. He was like some long before that. He was like, it's called IED, intermittent explosive disorder. I was not responsible for my actions. I was seemingly provoked. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, he had some diabolical shit. He threatened Stephanie. He was like, if you fire me here tonight, I will sue you. Not only will I sue you, I will file an injunction so this year there will be no WrestleMania. And then he was like, you kicked my father in the head last week, and you come over here with your lawyers, threatening to sue me and this entire company. And then he was like, and then he saw all the WWE locker room company. He was like, what are you all looking at, huh? You don't think I care whether or not that you have a WrestleMania? If you don't think that I'm fired, I won't take each and every one of you down with me. And then he turned to Stephanie and was like, you know what? That's exactly what I'm going to do. Fire me. Go ahead. Fire me. I'm begging you, Stephanie McMahon, to fire me. Let me sue this whole company for everything that has got. Cancel WrestleMania. Put these ingrates out of work. I am begging you, Stephanie McMahon. Fire me now. Let me hear the words your father was about to say right before I kicked him in the skull. Fire me now. And then she said, firing you would be too easy. We got bigger plans. And then Shane comes down and lays the whooping. But anyways, this man also triggered Triple H when he was the WWE champion. And then Triple H tried to, at first Randy was going for the World Heavyweight title, and then Triple H came down here and was like, you know, you and me got unfinished business. You already know what this is about between you and me. How about you just face me instead for the WWE championship at WrestleMania? Because at that point, Randy Orton versus Triple H, it felt way bigger than just the WWE championship. It felt personal, because it was personal. Randy pretty much was planning this whole revenge arc since the day that Triple H screwed him in Evolution. Now he wanted to pretty much break it down piece by piece. And he pissed off Triple H so bad that Triple H went through this nigga's house and beat his ass in his own house and tossed him out the window and all that. And I thought Triple H legitimately got arrested, but it was just all part of the storyline. And I'm like, oh, okay. So he's not really arrested. Now, Randy Orton made him have a agreement, a legal agreement that was like there should be no physicality between us until WrestleMania. I don't touch you, you don't touch me. And if you violate that, I'll make sure you spend WrestleMania weekend behind bars. Now, Randy, being as slick as he was trying to trigger the hell out of Triple H, and it almost worked. He was like, as Triple H was walking away from the ring after he said, I'll see you in a couple weeks at Mania. And then Randy was like, you know, Hunter, I want to let you know that it felt great when I kicked the old man in the skull. And it felt even better when I did the same thing to Shane. But Hunter, when I hit that RKO on your wife, I can still smell her scent, her skin. It's so soft. At least that's what I remember. I wonder what the last thing your life remembered when I grabbed her by the neck and slammed her pretty little face right down to the ground. And then he went up in that ring and was nose to nose with Randy like he wanted to do something, but he couldn't. Otherwise, the match would have been off and Randy would have got the title. Now, their match at Mania 25, it was underwhelming, I'll admit.
It was ass.
You know what I'm saying? Couldn't but hey, try. Now, their match at Backlash 09 when it was Legacy versus Triple H, Batista, and Shane, classic, ended with Triple H getting punted in the head. Only for Randy and Legacy to go on to injure Batista, making him tear his bicep and making him drop the WWE Championship back and having it vacated. Only for Triple H to come back from the ambulance and get his retribution. And then that led to a 3 stages of hell match, which Randy Orton won yet again. But yeah, man. Overall, this version of Randy was a menace. I mean, even down to his feud with John Cena toward the end of the year, and his feud with Kofi Kingston and calling him stupid. Fucking iconic shit. Yeah, man. But sadly, it doesn't come close to how iconic number one was. And number one for me is Hollywood Rock.
I know it.
Even though this heel run was short, man, was it iconic. Everything from him mocking Hogan, oh, let me tell you something, brother, to him having help from Savant Grenier to screw over Hogan, for him saying, making fun of Hurricane. He was like, what you gonna do? You gonna throw a chicken McNugget at the Rock? Huh? You know, you got the H on your chest, you got the mask, you got the superhero cap on. Are you the Hamburglar? Hey, go get the Rock a cheeseburger, no ketchup. And then he was like, you know how many superheroes could whoop that ass? Superman, Batman, all of them could whoop that candy ass. And Hurricane was like, well, I know what superhero I can definitely be. And then the Rock was like, now who was that? And he was like, the Scorpion King. And he was like, no, can't no Hurricane beat no Scorpion King. And then he was like, let me ask you something, Rock. Can the Rock fly? He was like, the Rock can fly and whoop that candy ass. That's what the Rock can do. Well, we'll see what happens tonight. And then they had a promo war with Booker T, eliminating the Rock, and then he was like, do you remember what the Rock was screaming when he threw your hamburger monkey ass over the top rope? And he was like, Hurricane was like, well, I heard you screaming, but that was when Booker T threw your candy ass over the top rope. He was like, the Rock didn't get thrown over the top, the Rock tripped over the top rope, okay? That's what happened. Yeah, that's what happened. And then he told Hurricane, he was like, let the Rock tell you something. You ain't nothing. 5 feet, nothing. Oh, excuse the Rock himself, what's going on? Hey, it's nothing. He says he knows you. I'm like, dang, he's cooking him. Funniest shit ever is his rap. He roasted, all the fans. Even Sacramento, you know I won't stay, but I'll be sure to come back when the Lakers beat the Kings in May. But yeah, man. Overall, man, This was my favorite villain version of Rock because
Yeah.
you wanted to boo him, but he was so entertaining. You couldn't help but laugh at him. You couldn't help but embrace him. He was just so amazing. And everything from his feud with Hogan to his feud with Hurricane to his feud with Steve Austin to him flirting with Trish Stratus, being interrupted by Jeff Hardy to his feud with Goldberg. The Rock made everything. Hollywood Rock made everything look like $1 million. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this video. Oh yeah, he even trashed him without The Rock on. So he was like, "Welcome back to Tehran. The Rock is back to run his mouth on all your candy asses." Anyway, man, let me stop. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and notification.
But definitely, man, shout out to the homie Maverick, man, for coming through with that heat, man. That boy Maverick coming through with that heat, man. As always, dog. Most definitely, man. Most definitely, Maverick coming through with that heat, man. Feeding the streets, man. The streets need that heat, Maverick. You come through with some good shit every now and again, dog. You know what I'm saying? We need that. We need that big. We need that big dog. We need that, bruh. We need that. We need that heat every now and again from you, Maverick. You know what I'm saying? You gotta feed the streets, bruh. But anyway, so that's just gonna about do it for this one. Make sure y'all go subscribe to Maverick channel. Run them likes up, the views up, the comments up, and the subscribers up over there on his channel. You already know they show that love over here. We're gonna show that love right back. And I will see you all in the next one. Till then, deuces.